Dawn in Rio looked like a war film set. More than 60 bodies lined a favela street as police boasted of neutralizing criminals in their biggest raid on the Red Command. Residents call it a massacre. With COP30 few days away, is Rio staging a cleanup or committing one? On the dreadful morning on October 29th, Brazil's streets emulated scenes straight from a horror movie. And a very scary one at that. More than 60 dead bodies, old and young, lay lifeless on a street in Rio de Janeiro's Penha Favela. State authorities on Wednesday claimed that at least 132 people, including 4 police officers, were killed in raids targeting a major drug gang. The Rio state government said the operation was its largest ever to target the Comando Vermelho gang, which controls the drug trade in several favelas. Poor and densely populated settlements woven through the city's hilly oceanside terrain. According to the Brazilian media, the bodies on the street had not been included in Tuesday's tally. Security officials were yet to update the official death toll later on October 29th. Authorities said the fatalities that were not police officers were suspected of connections to drug trafficking. On October 28th, Rio de Janeiro Governor Claudio Castro called all of the deceased who were not police as criminals.
So far, we have arrested 56 criminals. To date, 18 criminals have been neutralized, 31 rifles seized, and a large quantity of drugs confiscated, which cannot yet be assessed because they are still in the midst of combat.
Residents who went looking for lost relatives had collected many of the corpses from a forested area behind their neighborhood. Photos showed weeping mourners and onlookers gathered on either side of the long row of bodies, some of which were covered with cloths or bags. One of these mourners is Taua Brito. Her son was killed in one of the raids. She says that she wishes nothing more than burying her son.
I just want to take my son out of here and bury him. You know why? It won't do any good. The truth is, it won't do any good, because here there are a lot of people crying, but outside there are a lot of people applauding what they did, which was a massacre. Is that right? What kind of operation is this? What has changed? Did they introduce any sports, any studies, anything to improve the lives of young people? They haven't changed anything.
President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who landed in Brasilia late on Tuesday from a trip to Malaysia, has yet to comment on the raids. The police operation came days before Rio hosts global events related to the United Nations Climate Summit known as COP30, including the C40 Global Summit of Mayors tackling climate change and British Prince William's Earthshot Prize. However, the locals now seem scared before the important event.
I'm very scared and apprehensive because there are no buses. We're here in the middle of the street, exposed to anything that might happen.
Several civil society groups criticised the heavy casualties of the military-style raid. The UN's Human Rights Office said it adds to a trend of extreme lethal consequences of police raids in Brazil's marginalised communities.
We remind authorities of their obligations under international human rights law and urge prompt and effective investigations.
Police killings in Rio de Janeiro stem primarily from large-scale operations against powerful drug trafficking gangs, notably the Red Command, who control extensive parts of the city's favelas. The police justify this violence as necessary to combat expanding narco-terrorism and drug trafficking. However, these raids have led to record fatalities and have been criticised for human rights concerns amid ongoing systemic violence in Rio's marginalised communities.